Live from O'Rourke's Public House, welcome to the Mike Brey Radio Show. The Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by the experts at TireRack.com. And also brought to you by Vivid Seats, First Source Bank, St. Joseph Health System, West Bend Insurance, Nissan, South Bend Orthopedics, IBEW Nika, and Papa John's. Also sponsoring tonight's show, LaGrange Country Dodge, Four Winds South Bend, Gulfstream Coach, and Troyer Carpets. Now let's go live to O'Rourke's Public House for the Mike Brey Radio Show with your host, Jack Nolan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Brey Radio Show. Nice crowd on hand here at O'Rourke's tonight. The debut as co-host, and not guest, but co-host of Rex Pfluger. Rex, thanks for stopping by. As always, the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And what an interesting week. Two ends of the spectrum. Maybe about as well as this group can play right now in your victory over BC. And, well, last night, especially offensively, maybe as poorly as you can play.
Definitely two ends of the spectrum. You know, we were in such a great flow offensively in Boston. And then what tricked you a little bit is we got off to that same kind of flow to start the game last night, but we just couldn't sustain it. And, you got to give Miami some credit. You know, their ball pressure and their point guard really bothered us. We turned it over a little bit much, but we did have some, which has been a little bit of our Achilles heel. We had some really good looks that we couldn't make, and you got to make enough of them, as we did in Boston, to steal one, especially on the road.
With rhythm being an issue this week, with the great rhythm against Boston College and the struggles last night, I thought back to Purdue when you had 10 assists, and that probably is the best game overall this team has played this year, and the fight this team is having to try to get back to that level, and obviously they don't have you out there directing things. As you watch on the sidelines now, you missed a little bit to go home and rehabbing the injury, but how close do you think the team is, and what are they missing, do you think, right now in terms of getting into that normal Notre Dame offensive rhythm?
Right now, I just see is that a lot of people are just looking for made shots, and they're looking for the ball to go in the hoop. And if it doesn't go in, we're really finding a hard time to find rhythm in our game. So right now, I think it's our mentality that we need to come out and not really worry about the offensive end. I believe everything's going to happen as long as everyone goes out there and plays 100%, gives it their all. The ball's eventually going to find its way into the bucket. And I know on the defense end, like my forte is, I just know if I can't shoot the ball really well in the beginning, I'm going to do the other things to try to get myself going. And I think our team, we got a bunch of talent, but right now we just got to get our mental right.
And another tough thing people probably forget, you were shooting the ball really well when you got injured. You had that 4-for-4 performance against DePaul, then you shot it really well, 4-for-4 from 3 at UCLA. You were scoring well at Purdue and really running that offense. And have you ever had to deal with a team that you coached that was having this much trouble making open shots? Now, last night, there have been times guys have gotten frustrated and taken bad shots, but the biggest surprise has been the open shots aren't going down.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever been in this territory with, moving the ball. We share the ball. We move the ball. Our assist to turnover, last night it wasn't good. Overall is pretty good. Our big guys are good with the ball. You know, Prentice and TJ are in the top 10 of assist to turnover in the ACC. Year. You know, we find open people, but we've not been able to, other than Purdue and Boston College, those have been the two where you say, now that looks familiar. That looks like our program. Just haven't been able to get enough guys feeling good about it. Now, we do have some youth and some inexperience, and they've got to continue to take good shots. If they have open shots, they can continue to take them. But it's been new territory for us as coaching staff with this group.
I remember heading into BC, we had the conversation pregame radio that I reiterated with you a couple times, but every game this year you've had two guys scoring. Last time you played Georgia Tech, you had two guys scoring, and Leszewski had a career day with 19 and Mooney had 24, but you haven't had players 3 and 4. You had 4 guys in double figures at BC, and everybody felt good about themselves.
Yeah, you just to win in this league, you're going to have definitely 3, and on some nights 4 guys that can get to double figures, and we are in search of that. We really are. The one thing, Jajuan coming back and getting healthy and getting comfortable. We know he blocks shots, but he also scores around the bucket for us. He gets putbacks. he helps us in that department, and I'm hoping as we get him healthy and back in a rhythm, he can alleviate some pressure on the offensive end.
You've had games where you've lit it up. Again, I mentioned some of the big three-point shooting games you've had this year. As a player, what does it feel like when you just feel good about each shot? And conversely, what does it feel like? When do you feel bad when you're in a slump? Before you release the ball, afterwards? Sometimes do you think it's going in and it doesn't? How important is thinking it's going in? Is it to actually having the ball go in?
I honestly think it's, if not the most important thing about a shot. Everyone in college basketball has some type of shot and has the ability to put the ball in the basket. But when it comes down to it, it comes down to confidence. If you don't have the confidence to put the ball on the rim, 9 out of 10 times the ball is not going to go in. So I know those times when I was shooting really well in a game, I just knew before I even shot the ball, I was like, this ball is going to go in. And when I've had those worst games, when I've been in slumps, I just remember going up into shots and feeling not as confident and just almost feeling forced to take that shot. And right now, I think it's like a bunch of our guys, like Coach mentioned, we have a lot of youth on the floor, but that doesn't take away their talent level. It's more so, especially with the terror of the ACC and just how every team is so good. Everyone needs to kind of come together and form this team bond where we're each giving each other confidence, which we're doing, but we need to start believing in that. And I think once we do that, we can start making the right steps forward.
And you don't just like to be positive. You're a student of positive thinking. I know this Twitter site, Plus Thinking, you're always retweeting things about positive thoughts and how to be successful and how to get rid of negative thoughts. So I think one of the most impressive things you've done, and you've done a lot, I'll never forget the 3 down at Duke, that really helped sew up Notre Dame's first ever win at Cameron, and the last second shots where after Syracuse you say, well, this is what we do. I just grab the ball and put it in the hoop at the buzzer. But I think at UCLA, I don't think people understand what it was like. I know I even expressed to Coach, I was worried. I think Coach was worried. Here's the Southern California Player of the Year coming back for the only time in his career to play in Los Angeles against a school you grew up really liking that didn't really recruit you. So you've got that in the back of your head. Biggest crowd they had all year, and I think a lot of it was Pfluger fans out there. And you even knew in the back of your head that your mom wasn't feeling real well going into the game. We didn't know the extent of it yet. And then you went out and played spectacular basketball, hitting key shots, the 4 threes, and gosh darn it, if things didn't go haywire in that last minute, you almost went in there and pulled off a victory against an incredibly talented UCLA team. How did you get your mind around that to be able to perform that way?
I don't know what it is about it, but I always love the big pressure. It's almost like I feel more relaxed in those scenarios when I go into something where almost I don't feel people expect something from me. So in my mind, I had nothing to lose. So when I went into UCLA, I just wanted to go out there and have fun. I wanted to perform for my crowd that was out there, all my friends and family. And just being out there in in Pauley Pavilion, a place that I grew up an hour away from and looking up to like my whole life. It was almost like a calming moment to me where I thought like, hey, I'm out here just to play basketball. This is fun, and I'm just going to go out there and play as hard as I can.
I know that's why he's a captain, but the X's and O's, the scoring, the ability, I know you miss that. How much do you miss the player, the confident player, and the leader that he's developed into right now?
No, we really do miss it, and it's been good having him back around the team because his knee is feeling better and he's a little more mobile. But we miss his edge and his toughness and his intensity and defensive, getting loose balls. He did so many little things for us. And we mentioned it before. I mean, the UCLA performance, again, usually guys do not play well when they go home.
I've seen it time and time
he let
again.
us, but we miss him. We miss that edge, and he's doing the best he can, not being out on the court helping these young guys. But it's just not the same, when he's out there in a huddle with a minute and a half to go, and he's saying, "All right, we got to get a stop this time down," and I'm guarding him. I got so and he's able to take a guy away. So now the neat thing is we have him back. We get that back. And so
you just told me they tell him the rehab's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, he's going to be way ahead of schedule. I mean, the guy's he's focused. His body's going to react well. It already is, and so I'm excited about having that back. I mean, we talked about this like when he got hurt. I didn't know he could come back. I said, God, maybe we take a grad transfer so we stay old. And I said, well, he's our grad transfer. He keeps us old. So. It's comforting to know you got a veteran who's only made more big plays at the buzzer than just about anybody in the history of the program coming back.
It's a bit of a generalization because you've always been good at every position. You've always had good big guys. I'm very excited about what I think Jajuan can do as time goes on because he's already a game changer. But all of your best teams have been really good at guard, and you've had 2 combo guards. And by that I mean guys that can both handle and shoot. And it just seems that this year it has been unusual when both Prentice and TJ have been good on the floor together. And they were at BC, 35 points. They made 13 of 21 shots. What do you think you need? And you can maybe take this. What do they need to do to get comfortable together? Now, for the freshmen, especially for Prentice, this is hard. Demetrius had a heck of a time. The only freshman guard you've had that I don't think had an adjustment period was Chris Thomas. He was just nuts. Correct. He just hit the floor, triple-double the first night. Correct. He just had that mindset. Yep. But everybody else has struggled. What do those 2 guys need to do? And then TJ tries to do too much. What do they need to do to get in the rhythm that you saw them at Boston College?
When they were playing, they were mostly just playing freely. They were going out there and they were just playing basketball. Like Coach always tries to reemphasize to us is that we need to play free. We need to just hoop. Is kind of one of the mantras we've been having because we don't have a lot of that experience that we've had in my time since I've been here. Like that leadership out there that's able to calm down and maybe go get that critical bucket that you need to. And, not having another person like that because all the other teams, there's always been somebody else. My freshman year was Demetrius Jackson, Zach August. Sophomore year was Steve Asturia and BJ Beecham. Then Bonzi Colson, Matt Farrell. There's always been those two-punch type of guys. So this year it's been kind of difficult because, these guys are really young and they're trying to figure out that spot. And then it's just there's so many distractions out there, social media and whatnot's going on. And people just need to kind of clear their head from that, and they got to go back to the roots of what basketball is, and that's just a fun game that you play, that you're good at, and you need to go out there with that mentality.
Correct me, please, but I think I've been around long enough. Your model is being old and having a couple of old guys, and they grow into it in each class who can lead. You knew this class was a gamble. Pay off from elite, back-to-back Elite Eights, because they're young. People are going, well, that class is very strong. It's 4 top 100 guys in that class, plus Doherty, who I think is going to be huge help, and Jawan's kind of part of that class too. But you knew you were going to take some hits this year, but you could not possibly have anticipated the attrition that puts you in the situation you're in. Now, you don't have the normal tools you have for your system.
Yeah, we're a little shorthanded, and we knew this was coming. We had been able to stay old for 18 seasons, and in season 19, just the way the roster was swinging, we needed to have a good recruiting class. We feel we really did, and they needed to play. And some of them needed to play when they weren't completely ready. We've always been able to wait a little bit on young guys and not play them till they're really ready. This is not the case this year. We're throwing them to the wolves, so to speak, in this league and letting them grow, and we feel we're going to get the benefits down the road. We really feel down the road this is going to really benefit us.
I just wanted to add on to that. Last year, too, was such a great experience for me, even though we went on that 7-game losing streak. I think one of the most critical moments of that season, if not my life, is when Coach Brey came into us and said, "You're in the fire." There might have been a couple other words in there, but we were in the fire.
Gee, I wonder what the other words were. Ooh. The automatic censor didn't want us to say what those words were.
But basically it was just that the whole idea that Coach Brey passed on to us is that this is the storm that you got to face, not only for basketball but for real life. Life isn't always going to be easy, and you got to take that as an experience and as a challenge. And I remember that because I just remember just trying to come out there and play my hardest no matter what was going on. I fought through injuries, and it was really this guy that was the one that kept pushing me to do it. And I think our team's in a very similar situation this year, where obviously you can say all the negative stuff you want about us. You can say we're not playing well, we're not scoring well. But realistically, our team's coming in, and we're learning and maturing so much as not just basketball players, but as human beings. Because we got to deal with all this turmoil on social media with people telling us that we suck. But that's why we need our family, our team, to stay together during times like this. Because if we fall apart, then that just shows weakness. And I think we got a strong group here.
He's even told me, because occasionally those trolls come after me as well. He goes, don't pay any attention to that. I'm beginning to learn the best way to deal with that is don't look at it.
It's hard.
Don't even go, well, yes, indeed, I know. And I'm supposed to be on it. I get mentions, and I go, hey, Jack, you. And it's hard to take, but they're right. You can't deal with them And I texted you one day. And one of the measurements I do now, if they have less than 300 followers, I ignore them. And the worst trolls usually have about 18. Yeah. I mean, that's less than their family. They're just out there trying to get people to go after them.
I responded well, though, to that. So.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But sometimes it's better not to work, because then the other trolls see a feeding frenzy and they go, he's going to react. And that's all they're looking for. They're just looking for reaction. They don't care about making sense. They just want reaction. Mm-hmm. I actually had somebody write me once and said, hey, I got you. You reacted. And he said, hey, I got Nolan to react. That's all they're looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just twicking, and they wouldn't do it to your face. But I go on these diatribes, and the trolls get upset. So we'll go in a different direction. Even this young class, though, you recruited with maturity in mind. And one guy who was ready, you thought early, you knew he would be ready, was Carmody. And you even lost that. Yeah. He starts a few games, and then the shoulder goes and whatnot. One thing I noticed last night, though, from the BC game was what I really liked about the BC game. Obviously, your team can shoot threes. You're still, as poorly as you're shooting the ball this year, you're still in the middle of the pack making threes, but you've relied on it a little much. At BC, you attacked the basket. The attack went away last night.
Yeah, we couldn't get in there as well. And, driving the ball is something I think that's going to be important for us. Now, we're going to see a lot of zone against Georgia Tech on Sunday, so your drives may be somewhat limited, but you still got to try and get into the paint and get paint touches. The other thing that helps us, and we had a little bit of it last night, not enough, but we had a good bit of it in Boston, was transition. When we can get down the floor, and Prentice is doing a good job of pushing the ball. He turned it over a couple times last night, but he's pushing it up the floor, and we're trying to get down there before the defense is set and maybe get a couple easy buckets. And that's something we got to continue, even on made field goals by the other team, to try and get down a little quicker.
For a team like this one, where you have to focus and concentrate on taking it to the basket, it's harder. It takes more work. If you come out like last night, you hit 3 quick long ones, do you start going, uh-oh, because then it's in there, well, it's going to be easy, because I think you missed like 16 after that.
Nah, I just was really pleased with how we got out of the gate. Our movement was good. We had clean looks. We rose up and took them. I do think Miami was kind of warming up a little bit and then started to guard us. And Likes' ball pressure bothered us and pushed us out. I think Prentice overall did a really good job as a freshman on the road against that, their athletic ability. But then everything was really, hard for us. And then it affects you on the other end. You get, especially for younger guys, if they can't see a shot go in for a while, then we can get a little young and hang our head, and
you pass up a lot of good ones then. So a lot of the shots that we see are taken because the shot clock is winding down, and you have to take them, even though you might have had 2 or 3 earlier in the clock that people just aren't confident enough to take.
Yeah, I think Johnny can take some a little earlier in the clock. He's so unselfish. He turns some down. Dane and Nate, we want them to shoot it when they have a good look. I think they've made progress, but they can still be more aggressive for us early in the clock if it's a pretty good one. So you're just still developing. You're still developing guys individually offensively, and then trying to piece them into how we move the ball. And we don't have enough guys really confident to go get their stuff enough. We've done it a few times, but just not enough right now to, survive.
We have some questions for Coach Brey that Rex can chime in on, and we'll get to those questions right after this timeout. You're listening to the Mike and Rex Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by TireRack.com.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
Well, I know you are very active in Coaches versus Cancer, and we're going to change around. I've been told we're going to have Rick Peltz on before the year is over, who runs your event. Going to change it this year. They're still going to have the big golf tournament, but you're going to combine the auction and the Night of the Stars into a big gala at the Joyce Center to try to open it up to more and more people. And, of course, we bring this up, and when I get dressed today, it was warm. So I thought I'd have my golf shirt on, so this made some sense. But you might notice I'm wearing this little butterfly pin that some folks are saying, and this came from the Flugers, and it's in honor of your mom, who loves butterflies and is getting some comfort from them right now. Talk about she's doing well as can be expected in a difficult situation. Update us on your mom.
Yeah, she's doing as well as she can, like you said. She started chemo and radiation this past Thursday, and her body was still kind of adjusting to it. So, that really plays a factor into your mood, especially with all the nausea that was going on. But every time I talk to her every day, FaceTime her, and it brightens up my day every day to see her smile and just seeing how positive she is in everything, no matter what's going on. And so right now she's doing well. She's looking towards the end of the tunnel. Obviously, with the C word, there's not much to look forward to or be positive about, but she still finds the ways to find the little things. She still encourages everyone to live their daily lives and have fun. Like, everyone wants to worry about her. She has one of the best friend groups I've ever seen, honestly, who are constantly supporting her. So honestly, she realizes all the love she's getting, and she's doing as well as she can.
And she's planning on getting back onto the golf course in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she told her doctor, actually, because after you have your second brain surgery, you're supposed to get a superpower. So she told the surgeon to make sure she's a scratch golfer.
Okay.
So she's going to be coming back, and she's going to be kicking my butt in golf soon.
Well, they have done scientific studies where positive attitude is a huge part of healing from almost any malady, including cancer. I know your dad was a cancer survivor, and these are the kinds of reasons why you put as much effort into this. And you don't just do your own charity. You do heart disease, anything that you can do to help people fight what you and I are getting closer to that point in life where these things knock on the door all the time, and help them get through it.
Well, the Coaches versus Cancer program in this town has really been powerful. I think it's over $3 million we've raised since 2002, and and everybody has a story like Rex's and his mom, I miss his parents. They were always at the hotel and stayed where we stayed, and you saw them behind the bench, and we miss them. And the plan is for them to be back next year, following him as he comes back for a fifth year. But his mom has an unbelievable attitude and positive attitude. So I think she's in a great place, and we're all praying for her.
I miss them all too, because between your parents and the Farrells, post game was fun. I have nothing to do after games anymore. I just go home. So I hope they come back.
And the Flugers never lost a party.
They did not ever lose a party. And folks,
undefeated, man. They undefeated and really fun.
One of your mom's influences, if people remember, I forget which game it was now, but when all of the moms had the golden jackets, that was driven.
That was cool.
That was driven by your mom. Yeah. All right, here are the questions. Mark Krasinski from Mishawaka. Coach, how often does the team work on the mid-range game in practice? It seems like it is becoming extinct at all levels of basketball.
No, I think, we get reps at it. There's no question about it. There is not as much of it. It's kind of a three or a drive, in basketball, college or pros now. But it's something we do in our shooting drills. And I think Jajuan and a Johnny Mooney and our big guys, get that at the elbow and shoot that a little bit. And Rex was good at that. Rex was a shot fake, get to about 15 feet guy, and that was a kind of a weapon of his. But, it's you got to get your guys to work on it in practice, because I'm not sure how much they work on it in the off season.
I've always thought it was a very makeable shot. I mean, there's no style points. You do get one more beyond the arc, but inside, doesn't matter how it goes in. I've always thought DJ Harvey is perfect at that, with that great jab step he has and his ability to get up. If he could ever get that to the point where he's comfortable with it, I think he could score a lot of points with that.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, the mid-range game nowadays. You guys just brought it up. Back in high school, that was kind of my shot, or my go-to shot, maybe a little step back in the mid-range. But nowadays, like Coach said, it's more so a three and drive type of game, because people aren't looking, because if you drive to the rim, you have the opportunity to get fouled more so than when you're shooting a mid-range jump shot. So it seems almost more tantalizing to go do that. And then obviously three is one more point. And I feel like it's kind of coming in with a little bit of a laziness in basketball, where people don't want to work for certain shots. So like that's why people doing a pull-up is tough. Like any basketball player you ask, it's tough. Like even in the NBA, a lot of players are kind of going away from that. Like during the Kobe Bryant era, like that was when he was shooting all the mid-range everyone did. Even Russell Westbrook earlier in his career, he was shooting really well from the mid-range. And recently he's been in a slump because all he's been doing is shooting threes and driving. And I saw an interesting comment about him about getting back to his mid-range game. And I think that's a lost art that's kind of fading away in basketball right now that could help a lot of people get their rhythm back, whether it's coming to driving or shooting threes as well.
And for folks who wonder, well, Notre Dame's team, they're struggling shooting on. Don't they ever practice that? Well, today's practice was shooting. Basically shooting, period. That's all you did today.
Yeah, today, we got back at 2 in the morning, and, it wasn't a day to be on the court 2 hours and beat each other up. We've got 2 days of preparation for a Sunday night game, and, again, we have tried to work in a lot of shooting. It's something we're not doing well. And so you're just trying to get guys reps and get them in a rhythm, and we'll do it tomorrow, and we'll do it on Saturday as well.
Bob is here from South Bend / Kansas. That's a long commute. Maybe he's indicating Kansas because of the great basketball played in that state. Coach, I really like Jogo's energy in rebounding. Are his minutes going to increase?
Well, they have. There's no question about it. He's a fighter and a battler for us. He certainly jump-started us in Boston, and he didn't score 21 last night, but he was active, and he's around the ball, and he can drive to the basket, and he's older. He is an older player. It's his third year in our program, so he's helped us, and we need to have him as part of the rotation moving forward.
Well, and last night may be the first time he's played a game where he was one of the focal points of the opponent's scouting report.
Well, you're right. He didn't sneak up on anybody. He definitely showed up in the report after Saturday.
Sharon from South Bend is wondering, Coach, with the shooting struggles, is it time to bring back the mock turtleneck?
No, we're not going that far. There's no way. No, we'll stay away from that. And it's that thing's been retired. There's no question about it.
Brandon Liss right down here. They're having a wonderful time meeting Jajuan, who we're going to get up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Brandon from South Bend, Coach, how has the new practice facility been? What have the reactions been from recruits, alumni, and your players?
No, it's great. We were in there in October, and we were in there today, and I think overall, it was interesting to hear Prentice last week go, wasn't that big a deal. You can get shots up anywhere, in his recruiting.
Rex disagrees. Rex begs to differ.
And I think it's a weapon there. But I think more importantly, the guys we get are 4-year guys, 5-year guys, Jajuan, 5-year guy. It's an even better and more efficient laboratory for guys to improve. And that's who we've been. Johnny Mooney is the latest to blossom out of nowhere and kind of do it. And it's just a better, A to Z, cover it all, nutrition, strength, rehab, recovery, getting shots up. And so that's the strongest part of it. And
available 24/7.
Yeah, our guys are in there a lot. And one of the things I want to do here the rest of the winter is, because I don't want it just to be like Fort Knox over there and nobody else can come in. I want to get our inter-hall basketball teams, men's and women's, boys and girls, in there to practice a couple times and see the place. And we need to open this up a little bit too. And we have our privacy, no question about it, when we need it. But we want to get some more people in there. It's just not going to be locked up all the time just for us.
We have more questions for Coach Brey and Rex, and we'll get to those questions right after this timeout. The Mike Brey Radio Show live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Escape to Four Winds Casino South Bend, featuring delectable dining such as award-winning Copper Rock Steakhouse and Kankakee Grill, where you can enjoy comfort foods with a modern twist. With daily food and drink specials, entertainment on weekends, 1,600 games, and a new poker room. You'll find just what you're looking for on your entertainment escape. Four Winds Casino South Bend, dining, gaming, and fun. Visit fourwindscasino.com to learn more.
Go Irish! LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram will sell all new vehicles at employee pricing plus the national ranking of the Irish. That's right. Pay only $5 over the employee pricing and you can drive a new car off the lot. LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 45 minutes east of South Bend at exit 121 on the toll road. Drive a little and save a lot. Check them out online at LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. That's LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. And go Irish!
This is Sean Stiers. Be sure to join me, along with former Notre Dame quarterback Evan Sharpley, for the Leprechaun Lunch with Sean and Sharpley every Friday at noon on the Sports Leader 96.1 WSBT, presented by Sharpley Training.
Again, I'm seeing some of these articles on a statistical analysis on why the game was close, but I was always under the impression that stats are for losers.
The Leprechaun Lunch with Sean and Sharpley, presented by Sharpley Training, every Friday from noon to 1 on 96.1 WSBT, the Sports Leader.
Gulfstream Coach is looking for experienced people for the electrical and slide-outs departments and will interview candidates on-site immediately from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. They offer steady production schedules at higher than industry pay rates. Gulfstream Coach is a family-owned business and offers amazing health insurance, attendance bonuses, and paid vacation time. Come see them today at 717 South Oakland Avenue in Napanee or visit GulfstreamCoach.com. 96.1 WSBT's award-winning Budweiser's Weekday Sports Beat is celebrating its 25th anniversary this month. Darren Pritchett, Sean Stiers, and Eric Hansen will be sharing their top 25 sports beat memories from the last 25 years. Listen in from January 7th through February 8th. It's 96.1 WSBT's Weekday Sports Beat's 25th anniversary. To find out more, visit WSBTradio.com. Sponsored by Budweiser, Lozier, and DPM Events.
All right, back on the Mike Brey Radio Show. Folks, experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell your tickets. Vivid Seats helps you see more and sit closer all season long at vividseats.com/UND. And that's something to think about, too. If you really want to sit down in those close seats and you've never been able to, take a look at Vivid Seats. Sometimes they pop up at very reasonable prices. Diane Woltman's here from Mishawaka. Do you wish the redshirt rules were structured differently so a player could play a third of the games or more like in college football and still retain a year of eligibility? They're similar for you, aren't they? What is it? It's
10 games.
And so that's almost a third.
Yeah,
but
it is. Now the difference is you could play somebody.
Is that just medical? She's talking about just playing a third and still retain it.
Well, I mean, you could play. You could bring somebody. You can't do this in basketball like football. They play in the last four games. And once you
would you like that?
Yeah, and once you start it, you're. No, I don't think so. I don't think it'll do that in basketball. I think we'll stay with what we have, and obviously because of injury, Rex was able to get through it and be back with us.
Jerry Liz here as well. Jerry always has deep questions. What is the missing link to this team?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been asked that a bunch the last month. And, I think what we've talked about is somebody stepping up as a third scorer more consistently, getting that third guy. Could it be one of our young guys? It's been Prentice some nights. It's been Dane. It's been Nate. We could use two of those three freshmen really playing well together on a night. We've not had that as much. We really haven't. So that's helped us. And, I think one of the things that helps us is having Jajuan back healthy down the stretch. That was a big loss for 5 or 6 games. And, I thought last night he's kind of looked like he's back in a rhythm. And he was doing a lot for us on both ends of the floor. So I like that we have him back.
This is from Gary Rivers. I'm going to let you answer first, and you can chime in. Gary's always here for Mishawaka. Coach, looks like the guys and Rex are missing the confidence they had earlier in the season. Would a complete break from all basketball activities be helpful?
That's a tough question, especially when you're a basketball player, because the right answer every single time is to keep playing basketball. But sometimes you just need to let your mind, go different places in order for you to realize what you have. I think it sounds terrible, but I've been blessed with this injury to make me appreciate the game even more, because, sometimes you get in the heat of the battle and then you forget how lucky you are to be able to have these situations. So it's almost like we need to not necessarily take a break for basketball, but take a step back and realize what's going on, how is everything going, and what can we do to get better at certain aspects of the game, whether it's physically or mentally.
That was a good answer.
Yeah, no, he summed it up. I mean, and, the one thing about our guys is even if you try and give them a day off, they're in the gym. Sure. Mm-hmm. They go in there.
You have occasionally ordered everybody, nothing tomorrow.
They're gym rats. They're doing stuff. The one thing I try and do is change the routine up a little bit. What's the practice routine? Do we do something different? We did today. We did something completely different. But, confidence really is linked to winning, and we haven't won enough. So you doubt and you wonder a little bit. And that's why I was really proud of us on Saturday. We were, they made a run at us, and we made some plays to finish. And we just haven't been able to do that enough.
And you've even gone so far as you practiced at 8 a.m. Friday before you went to Boston. So you practiced at 8 a.m. again on Tuesday before you went to Miami. So
we're going to do the same thing next week. Instead of getting into the hotels late at night, we go in the morning from 8 to about 8:45. We're not on the court long, and then we get to the hotel a little more reasonable time. We've logged, and Gary's, we've logged a lot of basketball together starting back in June. And so, trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep the routine different, and, is a key. And then, trying to keep guys healthy, too, because we can't afford to lose another guy.
The leading shot blocker in the ACC joins us next, Jajuan Durham, after this timeout on the Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by our friends at TireRack.com.
At West Bend, we like to say the worst brings out our best. So if something bad happens to your home, your car, your boat, motorcycle, or personal possessions, a West Bend home and highway policy will cover it all with one agent, one policy, and one bill. Not to mention one deductible. And if you don't file a claim all year, we'll give you some of your money back. Even your wallet can have a silver lining. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
When the lane's packed on the court, you go to the open player. When the lane's packed on the highway, you go to ProPilot Assist, the 2019 Nissan Rogue. Now with available Nissan intelligent mobility technologies like ProPilot Assist that can start and stop in highway traffic all on its own. Nissan Rogue, for the win. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. ProPilot Assist is an available feature and cannot prevent collisions. Always monitor traffic conditions. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. See owner's manual for safety information.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare.
The two most recognized names in orthopedic and sports medicine have teamed up to form Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance. South Bend Orthopedics and OSMC are now Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance, offering patients access to more than 40 physicians in 7 state-of-the-art locations with no referral required. As one entity, they will collaborate with a broader group, sharing experiences and ideas so you'll receive the best care possible. Although Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance is a new name, they're still committed to the community they've served for over 70 years. For more information, visit ascendantortho.org.
If your superpower is making pizza disappear, then you've got to try Papa John's new Italian Hero Pizza. Featuring a creamy Italian sauce covered with epic portions of pepperoni, salami, Roma tomatoes, onions, banana peppers, and topped with 4 delicious cheeses. It's like an Italian Hero sandwich on a pizza. Get a large Italian Hero Pizza for just $10. Download the app or order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
We are back in the Mike Brey Radio Show. Please welcome the once again leading shot blocker in the ACC, Jajuan Durham. He dropped out of the rankings for a week because you have to play 75% of the games, but he's leading again. 2.9, 17 games, 50. Apparently not enough to get ranked nationally per game, but you're 20th in the nation in total blocks, even though you've missed a bunch of games. So you have really had an impact immediately on this team. Before I get these guys to talk about it, is that your mindset? Now, first of all, do you know who Bill Russell is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you ever seen film of him playing?
Yeah.
Because you remind me of him by keeping the ball in play. You don't just block shots. You start plays. You almost make them passes. Is that in your mind not only to block it, but to get it to a teammate?
Yeah, definitely. I try to get the ball to whoever I could, honestly. I just try to block it. And if one of the guys get it, we're just down to the fast break.
He had a double ACL. So you missed like 18 months of basketball coming out of high school. And then he really wasn't healthy first year at UConn. Then he had the wrist. So he's still really just getting back into playing shape. Is he having the impact you thought he would?
Oh, he's exceeded it. I mean, and that's why we've really missed him, the last 5-7 games not being at full strength, even though I think he's close to it now. He spent last year getting stronger, getting older, getting that body together. This is the first time, to really be a key guy. And so I'm looking forward here starting on Sunday for him to have even a bigger role, kind of like where he was before the injury at Virginia Tech.
Where did you expect to be this year? Has there been a game where you went, wow, I'm really changing this game. This is really what I thought I could do? Because I've got some of your big games listed here, but I want you to pick where you finally, or for the first time, or maybe you thought this way the whole time, but where you said, yeah, I'm changing this game right
now. I think it all started with the Illinois game.
Yep.
So that game was a really big change for me. It gave me more confidence in myself, and it gave coach confidence in me as well. So that was a big game for me.
Now, your breakout game for the fans was UIC, where you blocked 6 shots, and that's where the fans went, oh boy, this is going to be fun. Do you feed off that energy? Did you notice that against UIC with each block, the crowd got more and more excited?
I try not to really pay attention to it, but I was just trying to do whatever I could to help us win, honestly.
How hard is it before you got hurt to try to take the ball to the basket on him?
I'm not going to lie. He pissed me off in some of these practices. You go up there for a layup, and all of a sudden you see this giant just come over and swat your shot into the stands. But, he's just been such an intricate part to our team just right away, even last year and everything. It's so fun to have him out on the court because he gives you a realistic impression of what's going to happen, especially at a high level of the ACC play. So not only is he helping us on the court during games, but he's helping us in practice.
Now, I know it had to be frustrating for you to bang that ankle at Virginia Tech. And when you came back the first time to Carolina, it was clear. When you had the two-handed layup, I knew that your ankle was still bothering you. So you missed a couple of weeks, looked a little rusty at BC. But last night, right from the beginning, you looked a little better. And then you had that 2-minute stretch late in the second half where you scored 8 points, moving up and down the floor, looking really, really good. And they couldn't stop you. Are you feeling like you were before you got injured again?
Honestly, I am. I just know that I have to have that confidence in myself. And if I keep playing like that, the sky's the limit.
There was the hook shot. And It's kind of a line drive, but I noticed you're throwing it down at the basket. There aren't a lot of guys that can do that. Do you feel that you're actually throwing it down when you release it?
No, not really, honestly.
Was that an optical illusion to me, or that there was one that looked like he threw it down? Yeah.
He's pretty long. He extends. You know, the one thing, we knew he could block shots. One of the things that's been just really neat to watch is the footwork and hands around the bucket to score, but also he's a very good passer. You know, he sees people, he kicks it out to people, and it was kind of happening in real time, him getting confident. In the Garden against Oklahoma, we're going to him in the post in the second half. It's the fourth game of the year, and we're like, okay, we didn't know we really had this.
He was 7 for 8 in that game.
You know, so again, he helps us score. He helps us on the offensive end, and God knows we need it. You know, so we got to get him back in there.
The thing that may have surprised me the most about you is your 15-foot jump shot. It is really, really good, and I think Syracuse somehow figured that out, because I was really anxious to see you catch the ball at the free throw line against Syracuse and get a lot of opportunities, and they didn't give him any opportunities because they must have, maybe they played when you were at UConn or whatnot. Actually, you did play against Syracuse. I remember that, so they probably knew he had that. But you have the complete offensive game. I mean this in the most positive possible way. You are much better and you have a much wider array of tools offensively than I think a lot of people thought you did have. How far can you go? What do you need to do to expand that even more?
Just being consistent in my workouts and just getting in the gym all the time with Coach Hump early in the morning before class and everything like that. I feel like if I just do that, like I said, the sky's will be the limit.
When you knew it was time to make a change from UConn, and certainly this program, Coach and I very familiar with that, because the Notre Dame and UConn had played so many tight games for years, and sometimes Notre Dame would be up. I mean, Notre Dame was the last team to beat UConn during one of their national championship years in the last game of the regular season out there. So we know it was a great basketball program. Wasn't working out for you. What was it that made you choose Notre Dame?
When I came on my visit, just getting to know the guys, and they just really embraced me like I was a brother already on the team. And they just took me in and just showed me the ropes of everything, and I just felt really comfortable when I played on the court with them and everything. So it was cool like that.
With shoes that were too small, as I remember.
Yes.
Remember, he didn't bring his shoes. You borrowed somebody's, and they were like 2 sizes too small.
Was it Marty's shoes?
I think you had somebody's shoes that were too small, and you played really well. It's like, God, if he can play well in shoes that are too small, he's really good. We were really excited. You know, I mean, there was a sweepstakes for him when you have that kind of talent, you know, and he's got 3 years of eligibility. But we certainly knew his high school coach, very well coached there. And I think he knew, too, and he's found now for a year and a half, Ryan Humphrey's a heck of a mentor for our frontline guys. And he's kind of taken him under his wing, and, you know, they've done a lot together. So I'm just excited about the rest of the season with him. I'm really excited about his future then after this season too.
You know, Jajuan, a guy named Jordan Cornette, who did the analysis last night on the ESPNU broadcast, he's the all-time leading shot blocker at Notre Dame, and he's very worried about you right now because he likes it's on his Twitter page and his Facebook page, although in all reality, had Hump played 4 years here, he would be far and away the all-time leading shot blocker at Notre Dame. But I know he is very excited by what you are able to bring to the table. I know Coach mentioned something before exams, but you had said that he has never gotten a grade below a B since he's been here at Notre Dame. Is that still correct?
Yes, it is.
Midterms next week. Pressure's on, right?
Yeah, I think I can do it. I'll be fine.
So how have you learned to balance that? Because I don't think folks understand. I know there was an athlete from another sport who said, why is it he transferred to another school and said, why is Notre Dame so difficult? It's because all the people are smarter there? And he said, no. It's because they expect so much out of you in class because they push you so hard and work you so hard. So how have you been able to balance that? Because obviously you made the transition very easily.
Just my basis from high school. I went to a very prestigious high school, and I knew that in order to play basketball, I'm going to have to be able to have a good grades. So that was just really big to me, and I knew that if I have good grades, then hey, you're going to have to you'll be able to play basketball, so I took it that route.
One of the things about this Notre Dame program under coach is you guys are always close. And the few times maybe they haven't been as close, there hasn't been as much success on the floor. So as soon as you met him, was it an immediate, this guy fits our culture perfectly?
I think it was, actually. Did we go to Ruth Chris first?
Yes,
I remember we went to Ruth Chris together, and he came in my car with me. We went back, and he hung out with me and a couple of the guys at my apartment, actually. And we just bonded. We just realized right away that this guy was one of us. And we saw it, and that coach obviously said, like, hey, there's this big-time guy coming here, treat him well. But it was so easy to treat him well because he was such a good guy. And he's really gelled with our team right away since the back, and it's been an honor to have him on our team.
Well, one of my favorite phrases now is blocked by Durham, so I hope I get to say that a lot over the course of the next few years. We'll have more with Jajuan right after this timeout. The Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Gulfstream Coach is looking for experienced people for the electrical and slide-outs departments, and will interview candidates on-site immediately from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. They offer steady production schedules at higher than industry pay rates. Gulfstream Coach is a family-owned business and offers amazing health insurance, attendance bonuses, and paid vacation time. Come see them today at 717 South Oakland Avenue in Napanee, or visit GulfstreamCoach.com.
Troyer Carpets, your family-owned local flooring retailer, is the proud partner of Shaw Floors, the industry leader in flooring products for more than 40 years. Troyer Carpets offers exceptional carpets, hardwood, laminate, tile, stone, waterproof vinyl products, and more. Check them out at TroyerCarpets.com and call for a free estimate today. Don't forget to visit their state-of-the-art showroom and 10,000 square foot warehouse in Goshen, filled with in-stock deals that you simply do not want to miss. Go blue and gold!
Escape to Four Winds Casino South Bend, featuring delectable dining such as award-winning Copper Rock Steakhouse and Kankakee Grill, where you can enjoy comfort foods with a modern twist. With daily food and drink specials, entertainment on weekends, 1,600 games, and a new poker room. You'll find just what you're looking for on your entertainment escape. Four Winds Casino South Bend. Dining, gaming, and fun. Visit fourwindscasino.com to learn more.
Go Irish! LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram will sell all new vehicles at employee pricing plus the national ranking of the Irish. That's right. Pay only $5 over the employee pricing and you can drive a new car off the lot. LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 45 minutes east of South Bend at exit 121 on the toll road. Drive a little and save a lot. Check them out online at LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. That's LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. And go Irish!
Does your organization distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants? If so, Midwest Family Broadcasting South Bend wants to connect with you. If your organization would like to receive notification of job vacancies at any one of our radio stations, including 96.1 FM WSBT, Sunny 101.5, Z94.3, or Live 99.9, please contact our Human Resources Department during regular business hours. Or you can reach our Human Resources Department by mail at 1301 East Douglas Road, Mishawaka, Indiana, 46545. Midwest Family Broadcasting South Bend is an equal opportunity employer.
We're back on the Mike Brey Radio Show, and I have so much talent here tonight. And we've done this on the TV show this year. Rather than have me, those of you who've watched the show, we've been doing the fast break with the players, the rapid-fire questions for 30-plus years. But this year on the TV show, we're having the players ask each other. And sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes it's a little low-key. But I think these two guys are going to do a great job. And as the new co-host, Rex Pfluger is going to ask Jajuan Durham tonight's fast break questions. Rex, take it away.
You ready, JD?
Let's go, man.
Who is your favorite musical group or artist?
J. Cole.
Who is your role model?
Probably my mom.
Twitter or Instagram?
Twitter.
I like that. Favorite thing to do when relaxing?
Taking a nap.
Oh, yeah. Favorite part of practice and worst part of practice?
Favorite part of practice? When we do kills, I love kills. Worst part of practice? Probably the stretching, honestly.
Best part of your game?
Best part of my game? Blocking shots.
Part of your game you need to work on?
Scoring.
Which is better, a highlight film dunk, blocking a key shot, or grabbing a big rebound?
Blocking a shot.
One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice?
He always tells me to go block a shot or get a rebound. Yeah.
Assistant coach who is most like Coach Brey?
Probably Coach B.
Love it. Toughest place to play in the ACC?
So far from what I've seen, probably North Carolina. That was tough.
Mm-hmm. Best player to room with on the road?
I'm going to go with my roommate, Prentice.
Toughest Notre Dame player to guard?
Me.
Cheeky. Best defender on the team.
You.
Probably right. I appreciate that. Best leaper on the team.
Best leaper?
Leaper, jumper.
Okay. I'm going to give it to Robbie.
I like that. Best dresser on the team and worst dresser on the team.
Ooh, that's a good one. Best dresser. I'll go with Chris.
Ooh,
yeah, Chris.
Surprise.
Worst dresser, probably Mooney.
Mooney.
Yes.
Leave him alone. Best singer on the team and worst singer on the team.
Well, that's a funny question. If you ask TJ, he'll say he's the best, but he's probably the worst singer. Say best, probably myself. I'm a good singer.
That's a lie. Best comedian on the team. Probably you now, right?
Prentice.
Prentice, he's really funny.
He is funny.
And beard growing competition. Who wins? You or Coach Brey?
Well, I'm trying to get a little scruff right now. I had told my barber not to cut this, so I got to give it to Coach Brey.
He shaves once a month.
I've never shaved a day in my life.
Guys, great job.
How good is
Jajuan,
that? Are these guys
thank
good
you.
or what?
You guys are outstanding.
What? Unbelievable.
And they're coming back.
You guys are good. You guys are good.
We'll be
man.
back to wrap things up on this edition of the Mike Brey Radio Show right after this final timeout.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Want entertainment designed just for you? Then check out customizable streaming TV from Xfinity. It makes your life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity gives you customizable streaming TV options. Enjoy the most free shows anywhere on any device, and even access your streaming apps right on your TV with X1. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare.
All right, we've talked about this before. The Georgia Tech rivalry has been really, really intense, really even. Almost always the home team wins. You're the only team in the rivalry that's won on the other team's court. When you won the ACC championship that year, you won down there. They're coming back after they beat you by 2 on Sunday night.
Yeah, we had a dogfight with them in Atlanta. They're going to play zone. They're big. They're long. They want to make the game ugly. So it's a little bit of a Syracuse attack offensively for us, where we've got to get into gaps and get it to the middle, and we got to make some shots over the top of zone. That always helps. They had a tough one in last night against Clemson at home, but they hurt us inside down there, and that's why I'm glad we have Jajuan back. He did not play in Atlanta. We need him to go up against some of their frontline guys.
Looking forward to it, guys. You did a great job. If this was an audition to be the host, we'd be done because you guys would get the job. No question about that. 6 o'clock Sunday night. Come on out and root the Irish. And next Thursday, it's Valentine's Day. And what better place to take your loved one than here to O'Rourke's for the Mike Brey Radio Show? We will be there. Well, that's where I'm taking my wife. So
she'll be here.
She'll be here. So until then,
fellas.
thanks so much for watching and listening, and go Irish.
The Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by the experts at TireRack.com, was brought to you by Vivid Seats, First Source Bank, St. Joseph Health System, West Bend Insurance, Nissan, South Bend Orthopedics, IBEW Nika, and Papa John's. Also sponsoring tonight's show, LaGrange Country Dodge, Four Winds South Bend, Gulfstream Coach, and Troyer Carpets.